Hello everyone, Hurley of RFI Reviews here, and here's my full review for the BQEYZ Autumn. But before we proceed, I would like to thank Ma'am L of BQEYZ Audio for purchasing and sending over this unit to me to be reviewed with little to no bias as much as possible. Without further ado, let us proceed. So this is the packaging of the Autumn. It took the minimalist and straightforward approach. Sliding up the box and you'll see the IEM drivers itself. Removing the upper cover reveals the magnetic tuning filters, more into this later, and the magnetic one that you'll be needing to swap the filters of the Autumn to your liking. Lifting up the first layer of foam reveals the 6 sets of ear tips, case, and this zebra cable that seems and feels sturdy and well built, and a cleaning brush. Despite being in a metal shell, the Autumn is quite light and fits in my ears well with the assurance of fatigue-free hours of listening sessions. Its isolation is good enough but not deep, which shares the same case with the BQEYZ Summer to my ears. It isn't bad by any means, but it might be a deal breaker for those people who want a deeper fit for an IEM. Moving on to the sound, the BQEYZ Autumn is balanced or W-shaped sounding IEM on its stock form at least, depending on the pairings and synergy you pair with it. The bass exhibits a good control in terms of attack and decay while keeping the sound musical and alive. As a result, the sound is presented in a clean manner. Mid-bass and sub-bass levels are nearly equal to each other and never lack any punch and depth when listened with EDM or bass-heavy tracks. As for the mids, the Autumn is most of the time linear with slight recession on the lower mids depending on the tracks and pairings. Lower mids has a slight hint of warmth to keep the male vocals full or sounding full. Upper mids are also slightly elevated with good amount of clarity and sparkle. The overall sound of the Autumn's mids are clean and sounds natural, well, probably because of its single dynamic driver configuration. Moving on to the treble, the Autumn also exhibits a clear, well-extended treble response. Despite the treble is slightly elevated, I wouldn't call it bright per se. It isn't also rolled off or dark either. It has 0 instances of pierce and harshness on my observation period, which is a very good sign. Detail retrieval is also excellent for its asking price of $200 as I can hear the nuances much clearer. The soundstage is a bit wider compared to its older sibling, the Summer, with an above average level of expansion. The separation is also above average and it did not suffer any congestion on my tests. Imaging is precise, the instrument and vocal positions are much more clearer and precise when compared to the Summer. But let us not forget the Autumn's unique feature, the magnetic tuning filters. Using the bass filter elevates the mid-bass and sub-bass, making it much more engaging and bassy for EDM and bass-heavy tracks, at the expense of slightly slower bass decay and a bit of added mid-bass bleed. As a result, the Autumn sounds thicker compared to the stock filter. On the other hand, using the treble filter elevates the upper mids and treble, creating a very good amount of upper frequency presence and air. Lows are slightly lessened in quantity compared to the stock form, but became more punchy, linear, and controlled. Its technicalities are also much more improved and the sound became more snappier in character. I actually prefer this filter, but it really depends on your preference. So, should you buy the BQEYZ Autumn? Well, for me, yes, definitely, if you have the chance. Its overall sound and experience are really worthy for its asking price. Even on stock filter, the Autumn managed to trade blows with some IEMs I have personally auditioned under $200. This will be my top current recommendation for those people who are looking for an all-rounder IEM that will never lack on any music you listen with it within its price range. And if it does lack on your experience, you can just easily swap out the filters to your liking. And that ends my BQEYZ Autumn review. Non-affiliated links and my social media pages are in the description below. You may want to like this video and subscribe to this channel or not. It really depends on you. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.